Taz.
Welcome to Mountain Built Monday on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
All right, guys, hop on. Let us know, one, if you can hear us, and two, where you're watching from.
Don't do it.
We're starting a little early. These guys are, they're just in a hanging out mood, so we figured we'd hop on early, kind of hang out for a minute with them.
They were running around, so they're all sweaty and itchy.
They're feeling that springtime
They're being
spunk.
crazy. Hey, ma'am. Don't.
Josie's feeling snuggly today. I haven't seen anyone comment yet if they can hear or see or any of the above. So hopefully
You're
this
so
is
close
working.
to me.
Hey, there's someone from Southwest Arizona.
Look.
Hey, Jody. Sunny and beautiful today. Same here. This is crazy nice. Alyssa's been working her tail off in the shop, and it feels pretty good to come out and get some fresh air. Oh, there's some people.
My hair's still wet because I had barely enough time to take a shower before this started, so
Yeah.
I'm scrambling today.
I had to do our members only Monday by myself today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone
right.
asked, and they might have emailed. They said, where did
Don't
Alyssa get her coat?
I stole it from Jason. Where did you get it? I think it's Powder River.
Yep. It's a
Powder River Outfitters.
Powder River brand. And I got it, man, I think way back at a feed store when I was living in South Dakota. Got it in Rapid City.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites, but it looks so good with Alyssa's blonde hair. I'm getting out of here. These guys are harassing me.
They would never. Oh, Joes, you would never harass
Someone
them.
watching from Florida. People say they can hear. Another one from Florida.
Oh, you're so grumpy about Taz.
Floridians. Ooh, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Man, it's so cool that people can hang out with us from all over the place. That's like, I don't know. Yeah, mule harassment. That's pretty crazy when you really think about it, that we're live in Idaho and people are watching from all over. There's one from the UK. Ooh, Northern Ireland. It's pretty amazing what technology can do. Sometimes I like to hate on technology, but it also has its pros. Another Florida. Everyone's back there. Nevada. Ooh, awesome. We love Nevada. We're hoping to go on a trip down to Nevada, go to Palomino Valley and look at some wild horses down there.
Yeah.
And then bounce over to Litchfield and check out those horses.
Scab on your tail.
Where we got Roosty. What's going on here, you two?
Taz, don't take advantage of this
Keep it PG,
situation.
Taz.
Yeah. Just trying to scratch her butt. Leave her alone right now.
Someone from Oregon. That's where Alyssa and I were both raised and where our families live. Someone from upstate New York. I played in a baseball tournament in Oneonta when I was younger.
I'm eating my hat? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, Christina, thank you. Christina says she loves it when she gets a notification that we're going live. We're off to kind of a slow start today. We are going to jump into some questions and kind of Taz update and Rooster update and stuff, but we're just hanging out here. We started early because these guys were feeling snuggly. Oh, one from Canada. Hey, guys. Christina asks, is it cold?
Oh. It was what, high of 43 today?
Yeah, 43, and it feels even nicer. There's no wind.
Josie wants to see the star. Don't eat our fence. Don't eat our fence. Yeah, it's very weird this year.
Yeah,
it feels like March, like late March, not January. This is not typical, but we're enjoying it.
Yes, it's so nice.
Might make for a drought this summer, but we're enjoying it right now.
We've been kind of in a working season here.
Yes, don't do that while
putting
I'm
stuff out for TS mules and stuff like that, trying to stay caught up on that stuff. And then Alyssa was doing taxidermy today, and so these good weather days are just zipping by.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to stay inside and work, but we got after it, and we're actually pretty caught up. Oh, Marisa Clark is on here. Hey, speaking of TS mules, Chris and Marisa, they own C&M Mule Packing Services, and they're down in Arizona. They're good people. Marisa says, had a dream the other day that Rooster was staying with us for a little bit. So fun. Hopefully someday.
Yeah.
We would love that.
It means we're riding down there where it's nice and warm.
Chris invited us, so I don't know if you know that or not, but we're
Yeah.
coming one of these days.
Yeah, yeah. Don't know if you know that, but you guys invited us, I guess.
We got Southern California on here. I want to scratch ears, Christina says. Yeah,
Yeah,
the mules love
especially
it.
Josie. She loves her ear scratchers. Oh, yes. A little eyebrow twitch. Oh, yes. It's weird to think Josie was so afraid of people when we got her. She didn't want to even be touched because now she's such an attention hog and she's always just like in your space. Exactly. It's like, you're just like, okay, Josie. Okay, Josie.
Someone says, how old is Josie?
She is, well, from what we know about her, there's no like record of when her birthday was, but she should have turned 3 in August. And so yeah, so she's 3.5.
Allegedly.
Shake her leg. She has a bad habit of, she doesn't really paw you. She just does something weird like that. I don't know. She's done it ever since we got her. And when you're just hanging out with her, she's a weirdo. She's a weirdo.
Someone says, do you guys have any bets on how big Mesa will be? So you guys in the live chat or in the comments, give us your bets, and Alyssa will give hers.
I bet she'll be 16 hands and about 1,300 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. What'd you say, 16 hands?
Yeah, 13.
Wishful thinking, I'm going
Maybe
15-3 hands.
Maybe.
And a big old thick thing.
Yeah, she's going to be heavy. Don't be nippy. Don't be nippy. These
Marissa
two.
says, what? She shakes?
Yes.
Yeah, a trick we did not teach her.
Not on command,
We
even.
would like her to forget.
Yeah. Yeah. She does shake. Hey, you guys.
These guys are best frenemies.
Yeah, frenemies is right.
Oh, is that stressful, Taz?
Oh my goodness, you guys.
Well, now we're on our actual start time. So speaking of Taz and stress, do you want to give us a little update, Alyssa?
Sure. So, well, first off, Taz came to us. We don't have a ton of info about him. You know, we've asked his old owners kind of time frames and stuff with Taz. But anyway, all we really knew about Taz was he's pretty anxious. He had a really rough time with the trainers. And they didn't even really know what exactly was going on with him. So going into it, you know, we had some ideas maybe, I don't know, of what it could be, what he needed done. But you don't really know until you work with him and ride him and stuff. So anyway, Taz has kind of just been hanging out because he, don't be rude with your leg, he really needed to gain some weight. He was pretty underweight. He had kind of a rough trip up on a pack trip. He'd lost a bunch of weight. And anyway, so he's just kind of been hanging out, putting on quite a bit of weight. He actually is looking really good now. And he's got a good appetite and everything like that. And we pulled his shoes, got him trimmed up. He was a little off on one front foot, and he seems like that's totally good now. So that's nice. And we've taken out a couple times, and he's pretty anxious. And this last time he was a little more amped than he had been previously. And a lot of people were, you know, trying to be very helpful and making lots of suggestions. Taz has bolted with his old owner. And so, you know, a lot of the serpentines and stuff we were doing was just so I wouldn't have a runaway situation with him when he was pretty amped. But it just seemed like something maybe could potentially be causing him pain. Obviously, we don't know. He can't talk to us. But
wish he could.
Yeah, I wish he could. It'd make it a lot easier. But we felt enough like something could be causing him pain that we wanted to get him checked out anyway. And it definitely could be just mental. That is very possible. You know, he was also a pasture pet for basically years. They used him here and there, but not a ton. And so he's doesn't have much muscling. Like his little hindquarters, there's just not a lot there. It's very jiggly. At least now it's got some fat back on it. But you know, he's pretty out of shape. He's been standing around a flat field for a good portion of his life. But anyway, so there's some signs that we're like, well, you know, maybe he's in some pain, and we obviously wanted to check and make sure it wasn't anything that could potentially be life-threatening or really cause some issues, especially if it was ignored. So we took him into our vet. We had him ultrasound his bladder, check on his kidneys. He ran a catheter up there just to make sure there wasn't anything like a growth or some sort of blockage. That all checked out, so we were able to do a urinalysis when they had the catheter up there. And anyway, we did some x-rays. We did a lameness exam. Don't be rude. And yeah, nothing came back abnormal at all. Did a blood test on him, so all his kidney functions were good. So anyway, so because of that, then we now know going forward that if it is ulcers, our vet unfortunately can't scoop him, but if it is ulcers, we're okay to feed him a higher calcium diet because he doesn't have bladder stones. He also did not have a bean. He got his teeth cleaned. And his teeth look great. And the other thing we know is us and the vet decided to put him on some painkillers for 2 weeks. Not just a decently high dose. And the thought behind that is if it is pain related, as we start riding him again, we should see a significant difference. Because if this anxiety was caused from pain and he's on painkillers, that should take care of that. If we don't see a significant difference, then it's probably not pain related, or at least not a big portion of it is pain related. So he's on painkillers. We know that his kidney functions are good, so we can go ahead and do that without worry. He could still have ulcers, and if he does, the painkillers could potentially flare those up. They could also mask the pain from those. So I think regardless, we already have some ulcer medication on the way, and we'll just go ahead and treat him as if he has ulcers, because judging by his personality and just some of the symptoms, that's our vet thought the same, very likely. We also are going to be pulling some hair and doing a 6-panel DNA test, and I also ordered a couple color tests for him too, so that'll be kind of fun. We'll see if he has den factor, we'll see if he has any of the leopard gene, and I should have done cream, but I didn't order that, so maybe I can add that. Maybe I can call him and add that too. But yeah, that'll be really fun. And just see if he does have den factor, because he's kind of got a dorsal stripe, and then he also has some barring on especially on his back leg. So we'll see if that shows up genetically. But that'll be kind of cool.
Show the barring. Bear with me.
Yeah, it shows up better in the summer. Right now he's got his winter coat, and so yeah, you can see a little bit on the back of his knee, and then there down on his hocks.
Doesn't show up very good on here.
No.
But yeah, it's right here.
He's like, there's a bug on me.
Quit tickling me. Oh, here's a question. Whose horsemanship skills do you admire the most?
Well, Ty Evans, but he's learned from a lot of the guys we really like as well. We really like Buck Brannaman and Ray Hunt's style of horsemanship, and Ty also uses those methods as well, so that's awesome. But yeah, that I have learned a ton from Buck, and so yeah, over the years, that's mostly who I've studied.
Should I get out of here so I don't get mauled? Someone asked, what did I miss? And we started the live a little early just to hang out with Josie and Taz. So if you got here right on time, you didn't miss anything. We're just hanging out. Here's a question from Badillo the 54. YouTube usernames are weird.
Yeah, we can't see your real name.
Says, hey, what's up? Love y'all's videos. I only have one horse and I am very interested in getting a mule, but don't know where to start. I know nothing about mules. Do you guys have any idea where I should start?
Well, if you don't have anyone around that can help you out with mules, one nice thing is Ty Evans does have, it's tsmules.com, but he does have an online video library that is majority of it is mules. That's how you say that. So anyway, that would be an awesome resource if there's a bunch of training and stuff like that. And if you want to come audit a clinic and just kind of see how people's mules are and see how he teaches his mulemanship, that would be cool too. It's $40 a day to come audit. And that would be an awesome way to do that without having to pay to bring, if you don't have a mule already. But yeah, just depending on your horsemanship style, they're very similar. Don't be so rude. And to horses, we treat them all the same.
Yep.
So, but we have a lot of patience with horses, which mules require patience. So,
What's my favorite quote, Alyssa? Do you know it?
your favorite quote?
From Tom Dorrance.
That you should treat mules.
You have
to treat mules the way you should treat horses.
Yep.
So, I also like another quote that's just mules aren't stubborn, people are just impatient. So
That's another good one.
goes hand in hand. But yeah, you should treat horses the way you need to treat mules. Like they take a little more time to think through things, but I think oftentimes people don't give horses enough time to think through things. So
I like the way Dawn Archer thinks. They say 155 people watching and only 40 likes. Come on, equine lovers, we could do better. Double tap your screen for extra likes. Thanks,
yeah,
Dawn.
thank you. Oh, Josie.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Jody Edwards says ruling out positive diagnosis is almost as informative as having a positive diagnosis.
Yeah, and now we know there's no risk. Like I was a little concerned there might be some kidney issues or like a bladder stone just because of the way he was acting. And so that was the main thing. I just want to check on that because like again, we don't know him, we don't know his history. You know, he was well taken care of and stuff, but you don't know. And if it was something like that, it could cause some real serious life-threatening issues. So that was good to find out that that's not the case. We don't have to worry about that. You know, we don't have to worry about like a blockage and him not being able to go to the bathroom. And he does urinate normally. I've been really paying close attention, but he does urinate normally other than when you're riding him. And one thing the vet said too is when Taz came into the vet's office, he was like very cooperative. He loaded right up in the stocks. He did really well, but he was extremely nervous. And the vet listened to his heart as soon as he was loaded in the stocks, and he was like, I didn't even know a horse's heart could beat that fast. So, I mean, Taz was being good. Don't do that. Taz was being good, but he was extremely stressed out. And as soon as they gave him the sedatives, his heart rate came down. And so he's like, it's nothing genetically wrong with him. He was just so amped. And so he could be so stressed out that he's physically holding a lot of tension and causing, what are you doing? Causing himself pain. And so he said, you know, even the urinary stuff could just be because he's literally holding so much tension in his body that it's something weird. He also agreed it could definitely be ulcers. So where actually I called, since our vet doesn't have a scope, I called today to see if another vet office could do it, which is the next one over is a couple hours away from us. And it's going to be, the low end was $1,100, the high end was $2,200 for the scope. So at this point, we've got to decide, do we want to go scope him? Do we want to put him on an ulcer guard and try to treat the ulcers and just see if that helps before we go scope him? It would be nice to have a definitive answer on that. But maybe that's not necessarily needed right now. I don't know. So we're debating. You know, we would be more than happy to spend $2,000 on Taz if we knew it was going to solve it and we were able to find the answer and fix it. But it could just be they could scope him and be like, nope, he doesn't have ulcers, which would probably be good to know as well. But that's a lot of money. So we've got to decide if we want to go do that. But that could be another thing we could do. Then also the 6-panel test, which we've already ordered, so we just need to pull hair and we'll do that just to make sure. But our vet didn't seem to think it was any sort of issue as far as that goes, or neurological issue. So
All right, we got a couple questions here. Let's pause from Tazzy for a minute.
yeah.
First off, someone says, Sherry Wendland says, Josie said it's enough, or it's time to talk about me. Enough of Taz.
Oh my gosh, Josie is, she's little, but she is sassy.
Someone asked, who was the first of our herd?
Clyde. Clyde was the first. Do not do that, ma'am. Do that.
And then someone asked, how wide is your round pen?
It's 60 foot.
We like that 60-foot size.
Yes. You can lope, which is nice. Lope pretty safely. If they get going around there a little fast, it doesn't feel like they're going to fall on you. So I like that rather than a 50 foot. Some people like smaller because then they can't even get going, but I like to be able to lope them.
Hey, Jesse made it. Yeah, Dawn says Josie is a little spicy today. She's like slow motion spicy all
Yeah,
the
she
time.
just is like, I'm going to paw you.
Yeah. The thing to do with that, Ty had a video about like ones that are like kind of mouthy or just curious, and it's probably kind of a similar thing with Josie and her little like soft pawing is like, you don't want to be super hard on them when they're
No.
young, but you just need to kind of move their feet, and like backing her up out of your space is probably a good way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, just correct it. I'm glad she wants to be near us, and I'm glad she's comfortable enough now that she feels like she should pause, as weird as that sounds. But this is, a huge change from when we got her to where no one could even touch her. She was like, would see people and go the other way. So this is a big change. I don't want to ruin that, but also that's not a behavior I want her to have, obviously. You don't want to be pawed by your mule, so
Yeah.
and just back her up out of our space, but in a nice way. Doesn't
Make
have
the
to
right
be
thing easy and the wrong thing difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a bad interaction.
Hi to Jesse's husband, Brian. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys.
Did you
Here's a question.
Okay.
What would you do for a green mule that doesn't want to trot in groundwork?
Well, I would do more sooner. So I would ask them to trot, and if they didn't, then firm up as needed. But do it sooner. Don't nag them. Give them the good deal, and if they don't follow through, then follow through with a little bit more pressure to get them to go. And as soon as they trot, leave them alone. Even if they trot 2 steps, doesn't matter. Leave them alone, and then you can ask for it again once they have broken gait. But give them that reward of that's what you want.
Yeah.
Don't keep nagging them once they go into the trot.
Speaking from experience here, it can be easy to, like, out of having a good heart and wanting to be soft on your animals, you can actually make it a little worse on them by nagging them or pestering them. Like, I did that with Riata. She was, like, so scared of everyone when we got her. I would, like, be super easy on her, and then that leads to having to, like, nag them or pester them instead of if I would have just firmed up a little faster, a little sooner, then you can just release, and then they learn it and they figure it out a little faster that way.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, Josie has a talent to be a trick mule.
She does. Yeah. She can stand up on all 4 feet too on like a little pedestal. She's really good at that.
Good question. Beth says, should I be happy at first with just a sped up walk? I know what Ty would probably say. Actually, Ty might watch this, so I don't know if I know what Ty would say, but I have a guess.
You could reward that maybe at first, but I would just firm up and get the trot and then leave them alone.
Yeah.
I don't imagine you're gonna have to like do anything cruel to get that trot, but you're probably gonna have to firm up more than what you're doing right now.
Bop them with the flag or whatever.
Yeah. Taz, don't get your head stuck in there, man.
Tazzy, you're gonna get wedged.
What are you doing?
We redid all the fence on this property, and we built this buck and rail, and it's pretty much
You're not supposed to put your
horse-proof.
head in there though.
Pretty much horse-proof.
Oh my gosh.
They'll find a way.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jesse says, did I miss you answering the question about the difference between a horse and donkey coat?
No, we didn't.
I wrote
we
that
wrote it
down
though. We have some questions written down.
And yeah, my notebook's in the house. It's great with my questions on it. So yeah, dive into that, Alyssa. The question is, like basically, can you talk a little bit about the difference in horse and donkey coats and how that gets passed on to mules?
I don't know, because you had mentioned like horse coats being more greasy. Maybe they have more natural oils than donkeys. I don't know about being greasy, but I do know that, hey, you're being loud. I do know that like some mules, I guess it would be depending on if they get the extra chromosome from the horse or the mule, but some mules do have a rougher hair coat. Like Riata is one of them. Cedar, our mule though, she had a very, oh, he's gonna knock your coffee over. She had a very horse-like coat to her. It was very soft, very fluffy in the winter. Josie, I don't know, she's kind of a in-betweener, but Riata does have more of that like donkey, that coarse donkey hair. So I think they can go either way depending you know, and sometimes you get a mule that acts more like horses, and sometimes you get a mule that acts more like a donkey, as far as like the freeze, flee type thing.
Yeah.
So.
But you're definitely onto something, Jesse. That video that you watched is spot on.
Yeah, they do have a
They're
different
very different.
coat to them. Horses are a lot sleeker than donkeys.
Yeah, thank you for re-asking that, Jesse, because I was trying to remember what I wrote down on my little notebook that I left in the house. Someone asked, how long have you had this farm?
Like 3 years now, a little over 3 years, I guess. We bought it in July of 22. So, and then we moved out here in November of 22, or October, late October maybe. So, yep, we've had it for. They're just being pests today.
Someone says, first time horse owner here. They got a 2-year-old Appy colt. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Sways on you. That's awesome. Did you finish that last question? I got distracted by Taz.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what color is Taz officially?
Well, I don't know genetically. Hopefully we'll find out. He's a buckskin, but he also has a lot of Appaloosa traits. His mom was a half Appy. So he's got the like mottled skin. He's got the, striping on his hooves. He's got some spots on his butt. He doesn't really have a full blanket, so he's kind of interesting because he is a little bit lighter in here, but it's almost like roaning. And then he's got these dark spots that you can see through his coat. He also has a dorsal stripe. It's not super distinct, and it does get lighter through like the top of his hip here. But he does have a dorsal stripe that goes all the way down, and then he does have some leg barring. So he's got some dun points to him as well. So I don't know what genetically you would call that, but he's got a lot going on, and it's pretty interesting. So.
Someone says Taz looks like our buttermilk buckskin.
Yep.
That's exactly what he is, but also kind of Appaloosa and also kind of dun, which
Yep.
a lot of times
dappling.
people confuse duns and buckskins.
Yep.
But he's a kind of halfway in between.
Yeah, he really is. He's
Plus
pretty
Appaloosa.
interesting. Yeah, plus he's got some Appaloosa traits in there, and so he's a unique horse for sure, color-wise. I'm curious to see what he'll genetically come back with. I should add that cream gene just to see, although we know he probably carries some of that with his buckskin coat.
Next question is, do you have any notes you can mention on Appy temperament?
I don't. This is the first, well, I mean, Josie, her mom was an Appaloosa. But Taz is kind of our first Appaloosa cross we've owned. And I've heard multiple things. I've heard some are super chill and really nice. I've heard some are really anxious, which in that case, we got an anxious one, So.
Our vet even kind of mentioned that one.
Yeah, and another thing our vet mentioned, some people have commented on like Taz's rear end and how he moves, and he's built very straight up and down. So part of that is just his conformation. And our vet even pointed that out, that's like an Appaloosa trait. He's very straight up and down, and that could even be part of like what we're seeing and feeling when we're riding him. That's just how he's built. Yeah. So.
Someone asked, what's the hardest part of training a Mustang?
I don't know. I think not so much for me because I don't mind repetition, but probably if I had to guess for other people, just the consistency of doing it day after day, and a lot of times you're doing the same thing day after day with them for quite a while. And we didn't do a great job doing that because it's boring. Like you're not doing a whole lot, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And so, I mean, it just takes a lot of consistency and a lot of time. Go on. Go get a life, Josie. Somewhere else.
Did you finish that one?
I think so. Sorry, I was distracted with my spotted polka dottus.
Someone says, who do you use for DNA tests?
I'm using UC Davis this time. I have used Texas A&M in the past, but UC Davis is doing the 6-panel test, and then the color thing on Taz, and then we also have a color test on Mesa. We got to pull some hair on her too. I don't nip me.
I'm excited for that one. And Beth Bush Pony says, years ago I learned that Appy and Dun genes can come in partial bits. which
Yeah.
tracks for
Yep.
Tazzy. Yeah.
So I'm curious how much he'll have of each, if I'm assuming some, but it'll be interesting to see because he's definitely got a lot going on in that coat. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Grumbles Homestead says, "How's everyone doing tonight?" Yeah. Drop a little comment in the chat or leave a comment. How is your day going? Today's Tuesday. Usually we try and do these on Monday, but is your week off to a good start?
You are a funny girl.
Someone says, "Oh, Jason, what was your major in college?" My major was exercise physiology. I wanted to be a physical therapist back in the day, so I have my bachelor's and master's in exercise physiology. And we only use it on ourselves. We like to go to the gym and stay healthy, but I used to train at Gold's Gym and stuff, but never really used it professionally. Mules are my favorite animal. Are they soft to pet?
Depends on the mule. We actually just kind of talked about that.
Not as soft as horses
No,
in
not
general.
as soft as horses. Not as like sleek as horses. They're pretty soft. Some are softer than others. Some have kind of a rough hair coat, and but yeah, they're much softer in the summertime. Their winter coat's kind of rough. You're such a goofball.
Let's see.
Move your body out of my space, man.
PG says, "What made you decide on this fence?" That's a good question. Already there, small trees readily available. Are they abundant?
Nope, we had to buy it all.
Yeah, we bought it
We
all.
bought it all.
It was all run down wire.
You can get post and pole permits, but you have to cut dead trees. And we would have to go a long ways away. We actually don't have any post and pole permits around here, so that wasn't even really an option for us. But some places do have those, and you can go cut them yourself. But no, we bought them all. It's a pretty nice, stout, sturdy fence. It's very safe for the equines. They will chew on it a little bit if they're like, we don't use it for our dry lot fence because they would eat it. But for the pasture fence, usually they're more distracted with the grass than chewing on the wood for the most part. Sometimes they'll still nibble on it, but yeah, it's nice. Where we lived before, we did get a lot of snow, and this fence holds up great in the snow. The other benefit of this fence is you don't have to dig holes, which is a huge plus to me. But there's no wire for them to cut themselves on. There's no sharp edges. Like, it's really very safe for them.
Yeah.
So
We'd probably build it again at our next place.
yeah, it is kind of
not
expensive,
cheap.
but I think it looks nice. It's kind of got that like nice Western look to it, and it just is nice and safe, and it's stout, and we don't have to worry about them, like if they're grazing over the top of it, we don't have to worry about them pushing the fence down or anything like that. So
Yeah.
they really can't.
Mary says, "Your testing on Rooster was awesome. Galiciño, Quarter, and Turcoman."
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
was-
Mary.
very surprised. I know those genetic tests aren't always, super accurate, and they can come back with things that were further in the past or whatever. But that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah,
The Mustang bloodlines are really interesting.
yeah.
Someone says, "I would love to see a video compilation of mule sounds. That would be great."
That would be funny. All the different, because they all sound so different. Like, Clyde sounds like a woman screaming. His bray is very unique. And usually, even when we're at mule events, he's loud too. He's so loud, and he brays all the time. And people will be like, "What is that?" Like, Clyde is just, yeah. Cedar would rarely ever bray. Like, she just has the softest little bray. I loved Cedar's little bray. Riata sounds kind of like a dinosaur. And Josie sounds like, sort of like a native.
She's got a
war
little
cry.
warble.
Yeah. Woo!
Wait,
So-
what was it? What was it like?
So yeah, Josie has her very distinct sound. But it's kind of fun. They each sound so different. And sometimes Riata almost sounds like a zebra, which is kind of funny because she has a zebra stripe. She does not have any zebra in her, but she almost has like a little, I don't know, sometimes zebras have that like almost like dog, like woof to them, and she does that. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, she's funny.
Let's see. Oh, Nadine says, "Should be sleeping. It's very late in Norway." I bet it is very late over there. Oh, and had a lovely ride on my 5-year-old.
Oh, awesome.
That's
Congrats.
fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's always good when you have a good ride on your youngsters.
Yep, that makes for a good day.
Are you so itchy? You're just so itchy. You just have to be
Beverly-
the center of attention.
Beverly Hillbilly Homestead says, Will you guys ever start Josie under saddle to ride?
Hopefully. We if she gets big enough and we feel like she can support us, then we would love to start her at the colt starting. She'll be 4 this coming summer. So maybe we're just like tentatively planning on that, but she needs to have another growth spurt. She's a little butt high right now. She is standing downhill right now, but she is, even on flat ground, she's a little butt high right now. So she's been growing. We had her turned out with Taz, and gosh, she's been getting like free choice alfalfa grass hay mix. And she just now has started kind of putting some weight on. So she was like doing a growth spurt. She wasn't skinny, but she like wasn't packing on the pounds like she should have been for how much feed she was getting. And so I think now she's starting to get a belly. So she must have gone through that. But there for a while, she was just a beanpole. So I was like, good, keep growing.
Yeah, we're willing Josie to grow. We're like,
yes,
just putting all the energy out there for her to grow because she's awesome. And we would love to have her as a saddle mule.
Yes.
There's been a couple questions. People saying, like, it would be cheaper to put him on ulcer guard and maybe see if it helps. And that's a really good point. And that's what we're kind of debating.
Well, we already have some ulcer med coming, and in the mail. It should be here mid this week. Well, I guess it is. So it should be here any time now. And so we'll start him on that. And then see if that helps. And if that helps, then great. We'll know he probably had ulcers and is prone to having ulcers. But if we still feel like maybe ulcers are a thing and that's not necessarily helping, we might still get him scoped just to see if maybe they didn't heal.
Hey, everyone just got to see Taz pee normally, so
yeah,
you're
he
welcome,
can pee
world.
normally. And he's been like, not to get too deep into my horse's bathroom habits, but he's been dropping and peeing normally instead of like spraying all over his belly. So
yes.
Since we got back from the vet, it seems like even though he didn't have anything, I don't know. So it seems like that's improved.
It's true, and that's actually a big deal. That I don't know what was going on with
that.
I
don't know either. The vet said sometimes sensitive horses can even just be sort of shy. Like if they're in a new environment, they just don't feel comfortable.
Bacon Bits, you were right on time. They said, did you already provide an update on Taz and his undercarriage?
Yes.
I just joined, so I might have
His undercarriage just sprung a leak up there, a normal leak. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning we talked all about that. So if you want to go back and watch that, you can hear all about old Tazzy boy. But going forward, if it isn't anything physical, if we do feel like it is totally 100% just mental anxiety, then we'll just start over with him. Like obviously that ride the other day was maybe a little bit much for him. And, we don't know Taz that well. Like we're figuring him out too, even though I can try to get some back info from his old owner about his trainer and all that stuff. It's like, we also have to just take him where he's at. And, and so kind of riding him out is also sort of an experiment because we don't know him all that well. And so, that he's going to go for your cough. Now that we know that maybe that's a little bit much for him, we can kind of make a game going forward, what we think would be a better situation for him and try to put him in, a little bit more peaceful situations for him. And that might look like maybe we put him up in the round pen, we tack him up, we bring him up here, and we sit on him for 5 minutes. And just to show him like, hey, when a person's on your back, it's not going to be painful. You're not going to have to do stuff that's stressful. And we might start out that way. And then eventually, we're walking around the round pen for 10 minutes. And then eventually, maybe we walk and trot. Maybe eventually we walk, trot, and lope. And then we move out and do the same thing in the field. And just kind of stretch that till eventually we're back on the trails. Because right now, for him being out on the trails, he's kind of just a mental case, and he just can't handle that much pressure. So whether it is something physical or mental, either way, we'll just adjust to what he needs. And we'll keep trying to find something in case it is physical, because obviously we don't want him to be in pain. That's not going to help anything mentally for him. So we'll keep looking for a physical issue just to make sure. But if, this thing with the painkillers doesn't make a difference and we feel like it's not anything physical, then we'll just readjust his training and, go back to something that's a little easier for him. So, and that's all right. Like, we want to show this for you guys because you might have every intention of buying a really nice horse and they could end up with some issues like this. And that's part of our responsibility as horse, that he was very anxious. However, like, just because he's maybe a little more anxious than what we were thinking he was, we're not going to give up on him. One thing about funny noises is, so the mules all have different brays, but Mesa has the deepest neigh. She's our little yearling filly. She has like such a deep neigh, and Taz sounds like a little pony. Like he has the most high-pitched little girly neigh. It's hilarious for a big old giant gelding. It's like so high-pitched. It cracks me up every time. But anyway.
Okay, so I'm falling way behind on this stuff, so I just wanted to say real quick before I forget, we are going to try and do these like Mountain Built Mondays, we call them, every week.
Yeah,
so if I
Monday,
miss,
but
yeah, I know it's Tuesday today, but if we miss your question, just try to save it. We appreciate you guys asking. It gives us something to talk about.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Someone said they had a bad day, so I wanted to get to that one, and I don't see it, but there we go. I had a pretty sad day. This is Rex. I had a pretty sad day. Can you tell me a mule fun fact or a funny mule fact?
Let's see.
I said, just seeing you guys and you talking about them helps. So first off, sorry you had a rough day, Rex. Hopefully it will get better. What's a fun fact?
I'm trying to think of a funny fact, or even just a funny story. Can you think of a funny story? Well, we already told this story, but maybe you didn't hear it. Riata, when we first got her, was extremely afraid of everything. And she was tied up to a high line. We had her just tied up to a high line to practice because we wanted to go take him camping. And this was when we first got Clyde and Riata. And for some reason, Riata was really weird about black gloves. Like, if people were wearing black gloves, that was like her nightmare. I don't know if something in the past happened or why it was weird to her, but she is still a little weird about it. She'll let you pet him if you have black gloves on, but like that was weird for her. So, and like people wearing camo was weird, and people wearing backpacks was weird. There was a lot of weird stuff to Riata. So she's standing there and she was pawing because she's being impatient. And she ended up, we lived in a place that had quite a bit of junk. They had kind of used it as a junkyard and we were trying to clean it all up and stuff. But she was pawing the ground and she pawed up this black glove out of nowhere. And she just goes, and she goes, boom, and stomps that black glove. But it was so funny because poor Rihanna was like her nightmare, and this glove just pops out of the ground as she's pawing. I don't know. I thought that was so funny. Poor girl.
And also another interesting fact about mules that you may not know, if you're familiar with mules, you would know this, but they're actually sterile.
Yeah.
Like 99.999% of the time.
Yep.
They are infertile. I don't know which way it goes, but
well, I think it's sterile.
they supposedly don't have foals.
Because they, even with like help, they can't have babies. Well, they can do an embryo transplant though on a mule mom or a molly.
If one of our mules could have offspring, which one would you choose?
Oh,
I know mine.
probably Riata.
That would be
She
mine
just has
for
a really
sure.
good mindset. If Josie was bigger, I would pick Josie, but probably Riata.
Oh no, people are saying they can't hear. Can I mute this thing?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Crud. People can't hear us. Let us know if we can hear. Oh, someone says there is audio.
There's audio.
Sorry,
Okay.
it
I was
might
gonna
be
have to start doing like one word.
Yeah, mime it out.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta move feet.
Anyways,
There you go.
we actually kind of need to go. I got way behind here. So we appreciate you guys watching, and sorry we kind of may have lost sound there. I'm not sure what happened, but we appreciate you guys watching, and we're going to get these guys fed, and we'll get to more of your questions. I'm going to have to go back through here because there's some really good advice in the chat about ulcer guard and stuff like that. So, oh, now we're back. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back.
Let's block
People
that
have
out.
sound. So yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't know how this technology stuff works, but
Lives are a little bit different because they're not like our good equipment. It's a cell phone, and anyway, sometimes they glitch. But
yeah. But anyways, we'll try and do Mountain Built Monday next Monday. And we appreciate you guys.
yeah,
And,
we didn't even talk about Rooster's video, so we'll have to maybe talk about that then.
Yeah, we'll catch up next week on old Rooster. Maybe we will have rode him in the mountains by then.
Maybe if I get my work done.
Thank you guys. And
What do you do?